Hi, my name is Mark Anthony Dubois Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I'm going to say thank you for tuning in. A little warning disclaimer up front. I'm going to use some names that's probably going to get in some people's feelings, or a name. And the name is really, really powerful to me. But I want to get to that after I get on to the beginning of reading a comment that came in this morning that I think is fascinating in a sense of my journey and why I'm here doing what it is that I'm doing right now. What led me to get to working with dogs the way I work, working with people the way I work, talking the way that I talk, doing what it is that I do, and just being the person that I am. I give all credit to one thing, but we'll get there in a moment. It says, I think whatever you used to get high on while you were unsuccessfully working with your clients' dogs has been and still is affecting your way of seeing things. And that's a very interesting comment because that comment, I got to give a little bit of back history to it for people that watch me. And the person that wrote this, I know who you pay attention to because of who stated these comments about me, saying, Mark, you didn't get no success working with dogs. And I'm going to say I didn't when I was a balanced dog trainer. It didn't give me what I was looking for. The word I want to use here is it failed me. It failed me miserably. It gave me no result. It gave me stuff that looked good in a moment for a little while, but it just didn't give me anything long term. When someone tries to discredit me because of my past and what I used to do, that's where I'm confused. And that's where in this video, I hope that more people listen to the name that I want to talk about. And I'm confused because someone would this is the thing with humans, unfortunately, and I get it. If I was still doing the same stuff, I got you. You know, I hear what you're saying. But when someone does a radical change, a complete difference in doing, I mean, not only just for even just saying my life with working with the dogs, but in every aspect of your life, someone has to start to ask some questions because where you started compared to where you are now, what's going on with that? Why did that happen? What are you doing? What wrong or what good has happened to you in your life? And the main thing behind that is someone stating that I didn't get results and I'm a no good dog trainer because I didn't give my client success on stories that I said out of my mouth. I did not get success. I want to say this. I did not, with my own personal dogs and with people's clients' dogs that I'm out for hire from doing stuff that I learned in the dog training school that I went to, I was not getting the results that I was looking for that people were needing. I did get a dog to know how to down, to sit, to place, to recall. I did know how to do all that phenomenally. I know how to get dogs to open up stuff, take stuff off, put stuff away. Really good at all that. But as far as the concept of why is my dog just dancing around on the leash and it's barking at dogs, it's barking at people, my methods just didn't get me it didn't get me anywhere. Some dogs, you got it. It worked so flawlessly. But majority of all the dogs, it was like the exception that it worked. But the majority, I didn't get anywhere. I didn't get anything done. And at that time, I was easiest word to use is a hot mess. I used to be on drugs. People don't call marijuana drugs, but I personally do with what it was doing to me. And I, in my mind, felt like I needed it because my mind was just in this chaotic thing. For one, I was in a conflict of interest of trying to go to somebody, like trying to sell somebody something in my mind already after a little bit of realizing I'm not really going to be able to give you what you want, but I could give you this superficial stuff and you're going to be good to go. So I started getting into this, what I want to say is lying manipulative game. And it started to just hit me heavy. It started hitting me real heavy. Heavy to the point that I'm no longer, what I want to say is even functioning all that great. I'm starting to smoke more. I'm starting to sleep more. I'm starting to eat more. I'm starting to do everything more. My body started hurting more. Everything was just going downhill in my life because what I was doing, what I was putting out there just wasn't actually giving people what they needed. So yes, I failed. I failed big time. I failed my own dogs. I still look at them today. I still look at Johnny Man here and I say, buddy, I'm sorry. I need to stop doing that and I need to get out of that. But sometimes I just sit and we're just hanging out and I'm just like, buddy, I didn't get you where you needed to get to. I did everything wrong, but I did it in a way of people telling me that this is what's right. This is what's right. This is the way to do it. This is the way to get what you need. You got a behavior issue with your dog. This is what you do. You just do incompatible behavior and to get that behavior to just go away. And it's a very, very interesting thing because it just didn't work. It didn't work. I failed. And I'm going to say that I failed and raise my hand and raise my other hand and give you 2 thumbs up and say I failed. I failed. It didn't give me what I wanted. So I had to make a choice here. For my life, this is where so here's the timestamp, one of my first videos. So it's right here, one of my first videos. I got the same shirt on. Just I don't know how that lined up today, but it lined up today. One of my first videos of it was May 22nd or May 11th of 2022. Then I first started making videos, and I first started making videos because something happened to me. I was in this like whirlwind of craziness. My stuff at the house was a mess. Everything was a mess. I had chickens running everywhere. I had goats running everywhere. I had cows running everywhere. I had everything was a mess. I had quail running everywhere. Everything was a mess in my life. Literally, I just didn't turn around and find something that was just working. My vehicle just stopped wanting to work on me all the time. Like everything was just breaking down on me. My freezers was breaking down. That's why in the last video you see my broken freezer in there. I still use it for food storage, so I still use stuff anyways. But everything was just breaking down on me. And I was struggling. And I don't know what happened, but I know what happened. But I literally went to sleep. And I gave I guess I could say one of my first real prayers of saying, please forgive me. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. And a real prayer of, I need something because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where to go. And I literally woke up the next day. So that was the day of that. So that might be a day I need to really remember, but I don't really try to remember too much because it's already passed and over with. The next day, that day was the day that something in me changed. And something in me changed that I want to talk about in that powerful sense of why I do and what I do and how I am today. And that's all to the credit of Jesus Christ, the Christ of the world. The God of the world, the God of the lands, the God that created this world. I literally woke up the next day with all of this pressure just started to fade away. All the chaos that I'm looking around and seeing, I realized I can come up with a plan to it may not be the right word, but a plan to attack this situation to be able to get it to be in a better place. And in that chaos, I decided, okay, I'm done with this training stuff because I feel guilty doing it. I officially at that moment literally woke up feeling guilty. Like this isn't right. I'm not being ethical right now. I'm being really, really deceptive and it hit me heavy and saying I can't do that anymore. So I hit some weird crossroads because, you kind of need to make some funds to be able to do some things. So I came up with a game plan of kind of asking and praying my way through. So everything I do in my life since that day has been asking and praying to figure out where I need to go next and what I need to make happen. And I just let it go and I just follow where I lead and where I happen to be into. And I follow into stuff. And the things that I was following into was, okay, well, you're not going to do that type of work anymore. That type of stuff. And if you can't do it, you're going to straight up look these people in the face and say, I'm not going to be able to help you out with this. I'm not going to be able to do it. So I was like, all right. So I did that. So then I went on to a whole new thing of just working with stuff that say I know that I could be able to do with the balance training that I know because I didn't know anything different. So then what I started doing was I got greedy, I guess. I got in my feeling. I got my ego started to kick in and say, I know how to handle it all. So then I started going right back into, yeah, I could do that for you and doing my same old ways again. But then there was a certain circumstance that happened to me. And something just hit me in my face and it hit me in my face hard. It hit me in my face so hard that I had no choice but to stop and look at it. And it was my own stuff in reality, my own Johnny. So I was trying to figure out a new game plan. So I woke up and something led me to something different. And it led me to two trainers, or I guess one still calls himself a trainer. The other's not a trainer. One was Robert, Mr. Hines, and one was Dale McCluskey, Mr. McCluskey. I don't know what it is, but I literally woke up. This is how I find everything on my YouTube. Everything I need to do, it just comes to me. If I need to buy something, it comes on my ads, and it's weird and creepy how my life is led today. I'm no longer trying to control it anymore. I'm allowing what I want to say is God, Jesus, to control my life, to be able to lead me where I need to go. And he's been doing really good. It's been living a really nice, really smooth sailing life so far. Nothing's perfect, but a really interesting life. We'll see. If he keeps crawling, we'll have to get him out of here. But a real smooth sailing life. So I started watching both of these guys. And I started really just studying this stuff about what they're talking about with these dogs. And then something hit me again. Something hit me real heavy. Especially being anyone that's a biblical type person, you're going to understand what I'm about to say here. And what I had to do is not listen really so much to the words that people are saying, but look at the fruits of their actions. So I had to do a little deep dive research of two of these guys that seemed like they both got it. One guy is super similar to what I was already doing. And the reason I hit a stumbling point with, say, Dale's system is I had a client's dog that he says he always talks about these 1% dogs. And I have weird stuff my own self, but I ran into a dog that I was doing, say, his method. And I was getting, it just looked the same every day. Nothing like miraculous, no amazing change instantly. But I ran into a real sticky situation. The clients saw me with their dog. They wanted to hurt me. the clients, trying to get them to replicate that, it was an impossible thing to do. And something in my brain in that moment just looked at what I was doing and looked at them and was like, this isn't right. This is wrong. And then I was doing the research of show me the fruit. Show me the fruit. Show me the success. Show me the people that are like, hey, man, this is great. I've been doing this. And all of a sudden, a year later, I don't even care if it was 2 weeks. At that time, I still was kind of in my brain of I want it done in a week or a day or 5 minutes. Otherwise, this isn't real. But I was giving it the benefit of the doubt of give me some time. My mind changed from wanting things instant to wanting to just see more. So that see more, I started to do a little research. And I was realizing I wasn't finding no fruit from Dale. None. Like none. I was finding people that were just randomly from the outside coming in and saying, hey, this guy, he did this for me. He did that for me. Just random folks, not folks that like even that this is the thing of how to find a real fruit. Not things that we are having a direct interaction with, but people that are indirectly involved that learn and be able to do something amazing because of what somebody that you saw them directly do something with. That's what I want to say is what real fruit is. I think a lot of us get confused with like thinking about it in the sense of like some cars or some houses or some stuff like that. It's the people that are not directly involved with you getting some information, being able to use that information to be able to get themselves into a much, much better place. That's fruit, because anybody can buy a car. That's what pastors are all talking about. I got the biggest church. I got this. This is why you should pay attention to me. That's suspicious. That's iffy. So I was looking for the fruit. And what did I find on Robert's side of finding some fruit? It's almost like, straight up, it's almost an endless amount. It's almost endless. There's endless amounts of people that are indirectly involved that are saying, wow, that was I appreciate you saying that. It makes me look at the world much differently now. And now I'm doing this and now I'm doing that. And now I'm here and now I'm not having the same issues anymore. The indirectly and straight up, he indirectly was able to influence me to be able to do what I do today as well. So I started implementing certain things that he was saying to me in everything in my life. This is why, I got a lot going on out here, but I have a lot going on that's someone would say it's not in control, but it's in a good enough balance that I could keep growing. And it's just me. It's just me. I don't have a family and 15 people out here. It's just me. I have hundreds and thousands of different things that I'm taking care of and stuff that I got to organize and move and do. And it's just me. And I'm able to keep up with it. And I'm able to keep that balance in my mind because I've learned how to do the one thing that Robert really has shown me how to be able to really understand on these lanes. Is how to stop fighting and how to stop running away and how to start to become indifferent to things. And that information is the key to, in reality, success of all life. And his fruit was able to show me that. His fruit was able to really just let me see the realization of what's real and what's not real. What's real is stuff is actually working. So I have no choice but to go into that. Because someone would say, man, where you started? It's a radical change. You used to go to the point of corrections and e-collars and prong collars and all that. To this point today, now you're like, I'm not against them. I just don't care for them. So you can do what you do over there. I don't care if I see you and your dog over there. Do what you want to do. I just don't use it. I don't need it. I don't care for it. I went from a complete, just absolute insane transformation. That's the power of what Jesus is all about. You're not going to see the same person anymore when he gets into your life and starts to influence your life to being a better person on these lands. You are not going to be the same person. You are going to do something of a complete radical shift, a complete change, a complete transformation that people that used to know, you're going to say, I don't even know who that is anymore. That's the power of Jesus. Regardless of what each person even believes that you meet in your life, God, in this way I look at it, is the controller of it all and is able to get you to give you the information to get you to do what you need to do, to put you on the path that you need to put you on the path to. Because the biggest thing in the main prayer is forgiveness. You forgive. You're constantly forgiving everybody, everything, every scenario, every situation, regardless of what's going on. And that's going to set you up to be into getting to a place that you are not going to be recognizable anymore to people that used to know you. And no one's going to recognize you. They're going to look at you and say, hey, man, let's go. We used to do this. And you're going to say, I don't do that anymore. And not that I don't even do that anymore. I just don't do that. Things that I used to do, I just don't do, period. It's done. It's over with. And that's the power of what I want to talk about with my progress, with my journey, with what it is that I'm doing. I've gotten to a point that I am no longer doing the same, and I'm getting stuff that I'm absolutely impressed with. I'm impressed with what I have. Because the biggest thing here is everybody is looking for this sense of control, and I'm looking to figure out how to be able to get the control away. I'm still living in it a little bit. That's why the future of everything that anybody will ever see from me, you're going to see something that's just not going to make any sense because I'm not focused on control. I'm not focused on management. I'm focused on just being and working and enjoying everything that I have. A lot of y'all don't know the concept of how to enjoy your simple dog. You're just living in this like tit for tat all the time. I'm sick of that mess. I'm sick of it. And that's all that I used to get. Is just constantly like having to worry and work and watch and study them. And I just want to be able to live and just be. And I've been able to find that. And that's so hard for a lot of people because a lot of y'all need the control to survive. You need everything to move when you say move, stop when you say stop, be how you need to be. You need everything in your life that way. You need it. And if you don't have it, you go insane. But you know what's crazy is the less that I control these cows, wherever they are running around out there, the less that I control these chickens, the less that I control these dogs, the more that everything just stays close as a close-knit family. The less that I'm worried about, I'm going to say this, but this is how life is. The last time one of my baby calves did jump over the fence maybe like a month or two ago, but they don't just run away no more. They're all here. The less control I'm putting on them, you better this and you better this, you better that. I said so. You don't get a choice. The more everything is just so calm out here. Going back to how I'm able to maintain everything I have out here. I'm living in a fraction of where I know I'm going to be able to go. I'm living in a fraction. The fraction amount of animals, the fraction amount of everything that I have right now. It's only going to just keep growing and growing and growing for a single person to be able to maintain and be able to do it. That's incredible in my mind of learning how to let the control go. Once I let that control go, everything just starts to flourish. It's just creepy on how all the cows it's like the stress is off of them. So they're all having babies like clockwork again. They just pumping and pumping and pumping them. All my chickens are just hanging out today. They're just pumping eggs, pumping. I'm kind of in an overflow situation right now that I've got my breeding section, but I also have so many that are free range that I got eggs that are just getting pumped out. And I'm not even feeding. They're eating off the land. They do their own and they're just pumping eggs. Usually they only lay like once every 3 or 4 days if they're not on heavy feed all day, every day. And everything is just flowing. Everything is just smooth. It's so amazing to be able to witness that. So I had different paths that I was looking at, and one path showed me the fruit. I saw the fruit, and I went towards that. And then now what do I see in my life? I see the same fruit. I see everything's just starting to get much, 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 much better. Some overnight success? No, that's not, that's the part that I think a lot of people get confused with even when it comes down to like thinking about a Jesus. I want it. He may help you with something. Something in my life happened overnight that I can't not believe because something happened to me. Something happened to me. Doesn't make sense. Something happened to me. I literally woke up and stuff in my brain I used to be really bad on having thoughts of wanting to harm myself. Like everywhere I would go, it was like, oh, look at that pole. That's going to be the pole. Every rope that I would look at, like that's all that I wanted in my entire life. But yet I woke up. I literally went to sleep and I woke up and that was completely gone. And at that moment was a moment that I was like, okay, now I'm no longer fighting. I'm no longer running away from. I'm finally in this weird sense. It's like, now what are we going to do? Now what am I going to make happen? My entire life, I've just been fighting. Just sick and tired of it. And I finally had it. So overnight, yeah, there's some things that can happen overnight. But then there's other things, the journey of life, the beauty of the process of life, to be able to learn more about you and everything else around you. So that's going to take time to keep going and going and going. I'm not going to have stuff that's perfect. And for some reason, it's like we all try to look at each other and critique each other as if everything should be that perfect thing. There can't be nothing wrong. Oh, look at that. You have no control. That's everything in your life is out of control because I saw that. That's the part that I forgive you. You have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea the power of what I know is the power of forgiveness. You have no idea. You have no idea. And that's what I want to be able to bring to more and more people. Every single video I talk about comes down to the sense of how to forgiveness, patience, and I'm always thinking on the concept of paying attention to who you are, where you want to go, and where you want to go, that change, that you don't want to be any more of what you used to be if you didn't like anything that was going on. If you grew up in this toxic environment, you grew up in this hostile environment, you more than likely have things that you're not who you are. And no one even knows. You don't even know who you are. No one knows who you are. And that's the power of what Jesus can bring to allow you to know who you are. And that's where I'm starting to, what I could say is waking up to. realizing and recognizing who I am and realizing that stuff happens and I'm just gonna, that was my fault. Yeah, it's my fault. Should I have done more? Should I have done better? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I am where I am right now so that someone could say and do and be something to allow me to look at it, to assess like, what do I need to still keep further looking into and keep further doing here? So yeah, what I used to do, I didn't get not no success, but I got no success in my mind, in my opinion. Even if the dog did stop lunging, it did walk perfect, I stripped something from that dog and I feel so bad for it. I feel bad for it. I feel bad for lots of dogs, hundreds and hundreds of dogs that I stripped everything I did to them, what in reality was done to me. I didn't allow the dog to be itself. I forced upon it what I wanted to be. That's a horrible thing to do. Horrible thing. Horrible thing to do to anything on this planet. Anything. And the unfortunate thing is we got to eat. So there's some stuff out here that's to be eaten, some stuff out here that we care to eat. And there's some stuff out here that we take care of to help us be able to eat. There's the differences here. So do I care about my chickens? Straight up. No, they're food. They're my food source. They're not no pet that's just cute and fluffy. They're fantastic and interesting to look at, but they're fun to look at in the sense of you're about to be my dinner. Not that I don't care about them, but that's their purpose. And I almost kind of purposely have to have that lens on them, because if I am all like, oh, you're so great, you're so cute, and just petting it all day and hanging with it all day, then I'm not going to eat it. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd do that same thing with, I was raising some jalapenos one year. I got to get that back going again this year. But I was raising jalapenos. I was watching it grow. I was all excited about it. I'm all excited about it. Like, I don't even want to eat the dang thing. You got to disconnect yourself a little bit from your food. But today, we a little bit too disconnected. That's someone else over there is doing it for you. Way, even on the other side of the world type stuff is shipping it in for you to be able to have. It's a little bit too disconnected. So no, I don't care about them. I don't care about the cows. They're food. I take care of them to make sure that they're going to have the best life possible. That's why I allow, especially my dog food, to be free range. I want them to have the best life possible. The best life. And there's a farmer that I know, he said something real interesting because he raises pigs. He said, there's going to be 2 bad days for you pigs. The day that I got to castrate you, it's a bad day. And the day that you got to go to the meat processor, it's a bad day. But every other day in between, I want you to have the best absolute life possible. The best, you be who you want to be. You jump as much as you want to jump. You run as much as you want to run. You scratch as much as you want to scratch. You get to be all you want to be. And then you're going to have that. So for my chicks, they get that one bad day. They're going to have that one bad day. That's it. You in the dog's belly. It is what it is. But that's the process of what I've been able to do out here. Is be able to, because I keep saying it because I keep experiencing it. I just sit out here. The cars haven't slowed down. Actually it's getting rampant because we're getting so much, they're building so much. So I'm probably gonna have to move at some point real soon because they're just building so much around me. But yet it's quieter and calmer here. I didn't get that with anything else that I was doing. I got that through following what I want to say is my intuition of where I need to go and what I need to be led into to be able to get what I want, the fruit in my life. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of running away. I want to be able to see and be in something that indirectly somebody can hear something, watch something from mine and say, wow, that helped me. And I'm in my life at this moment now, indirectly being able to do that for folks. It's starting to show up. And I'm only going to keep going further and further and further into that is actual of help, that people are on the outside able to hear something and be able to learn something and be able to say, I never thought about that. And then they're able to transform something in their life to being something different. That's my goal. My goal isn't to change you, to make you be what I want you to be. My goal is to say something so you can go to the one that can be able to change you if that's what you want to experience, or if you don't believe in nothing, you know, I hear what you're saying. But there is one that can help you, guide you, I guess I can say, to be able to figure out who you are. But I want you to figure out who you are. I don't want to control you. I don't want to control the animal. I want the dog to know who the dog is so the dog can be what the dog needs to be. And when I start to do that, I see something that is just, it's, like I said, everyone's got everything to critique. But most people that I'm going to say this because I know this is almost straight up being a fact. Most times when people got something to critique, they got nothing. They got nothing of anything of equalness is a good word to use here. They got nothing of equalness. Nothing to be able to say, like, I have anything that's even close to that. It's a horrible way to live. That's why. Beautiful thing is I forgive you. I forgive you. And you need to forgive your own self, and you need to forgive me. You don't need to do nothing, but I need to forgive you. And I don't need to do nothing, but I want to do that because it's just what's been able to allow me to be able to have such, what I want to say is moving into a more blessed life. A life that things are smooth, slowing down, more calm, more patient, more just chill. That's the life that I'm looking for. What you're looking for, if you want more control, I'm telling you, that's not peace. That's not still, that's not calm. Control isn't going to bring you there. Thank you. It's interesting. I guess the biggest thing is a lot of stuff that I hear from people. It's like, you're trying to tell me what to do. You want me to do what you do. And that's weird to me. What is it? I'm going to use these words here, and it's going to get in your feelings if you're still listening to this. But what is lacking in you that you need to make somebody else do what you do? That you have to make them, or what is it about me not doing what you do is such a threat to you that scares you, makes you nervous? Because if it didn't scare you, it didn't make you nervous, you wouldn't be here. You would just go away. But what is it about me that is making somebody have this sense of like, I got to get them. I got to get back at them. I got to do something to them. What is missing in you? What are you running from? And that's the part of what are you fighting against? Or what are you fleeing against? As opposed to just being indifference to. Because when you're indifference to things, you don't have this like burning desire to have to just be on this rampage and get into stuff. You could just walk away. Just, oh, whatever. You know, he figured something out. Just let him do what he's got to do. What is scaring you so much that what I do is such a threat? As if something that I do is going to now make everyone just disappear from what it is that you do. As if I'm like, maybe you can have it in a sense of competition, but we're not competing. I'm not competing. I don't care if nobody wants to try to do it to me. But what is it that has you to just have this desire to like, I gotta, he's wrong. I gotta do this. That's weird. That's so weird. Weird may not be the word. I would say that, but I can't. I'm saying I pray for you, but I don't want to, because you may want to keep staying where you want to stay into. You may not want to learn how to be able to get into a better place. You may just like it where you're at and you want to stay in it. You want to stay in that fight. You want to stay it. You don't want to go anywhere else because you think that if you don't have that fight, then you're nobody. I used to think that same way. But things have changed, and I'm no longer going to look and view and be in the world the same way that I used to. I'm going to be something completely different. Completely different. I'm no longer going to run away from issues. I'm no longer going to fight and run into them and try to go into a battle with them. I'm just going to be there for them. I'm going to allow it to go on out there. The world is crazy out there, but here, it's pretty cool. It's pretty chill out here. I don't even know what it is. Earlier, the rooster was standing there. He's already in the front when he's not supposed to be. And he looked at me and he called and looked right at me and he just walked on to the back. I'm like, wow, that's the life in reality that I'm just living out here. That that's the word that I could use. I could prove it. You can come here and just see it. You can experience it. I don't have to just talk about it and act like one thing is one way and another thing is another way. Because then my life would be leading me somewhere to figure out how to keep finding more. I'm always going to be learning for more. But I took a path that there are two ways to go here. And I took this path. And this path has led me to where I am today. If it was worse, I'd have to admit that. Because my videos is my journey. But the path that I took is making everything much better. Everything. Not just the dog. I'm not worried about the dog. I'm worried about livelihood, my life, my journey, my being. I used to be a hot mess, a real hot mess. I used to not get no results that I was looking for. I used to just be struggling every single day to just stay alive. It was a horrible existence. And when I watch a video like that video there, it's hard for me to even watch. Because I don't even recognize that person talking. I talk so differently, like completely differently. Videos that I have, I never even posted those. And those are ones that I was just doing tests with microphones and stuff and tests. And I'm sitting on camera smoking and stuff. And those are my first videos. And when I listen to myself, like I could literally play it and you don't look at it and you'd be like, who's that talking? Who is that? That's the that inspires me so much to only want to keep going further into what it is that I'm doing. That's why I do what I do. There's another pastor, man, I used to listen to. I still listen to somewhat. He's more to the book, hardcore, which I like that sometimes. But he'll yell at me because of my hair. He's like, men can't have long hair. I'm like, I hear you. But Samson sure did. But he would always talk about the sense that the radical change, because he even uses that term, radical change. When someone comes to Jesus and they're truly wanting to be forgiven, you will have no understanding of how they used to look and are and be compared to how they are now. That's how you know who's real or not. And that's something in me that I got videos that I actually posted some when I first got on the farm, because I used to be real hostile. That might be like a private members club, so y'all can like literally hear how I used to talk and watch how I used to be. And that's those videos, those ones go even further back. Those go back to what, 2018, my first ever YouTube video that I ever posted. I'm swearing every other word. I got my joint in my hand. No, I didn't have smoked joints. I smoked these big fat blunts. I used to roll them like cigars. I got my cigar in my hand. I'm just walking around, just swearing and yelling and raging. And that was my life every day. Every day. That's what I was. That's what I was doing. And when I look at those videos, it actually like can get me a little emotional when I look at that. Like, wow, look at you, man, you acting a fool. You look like an idiot. And that's just how, that was me. That was how I was to everybody. And I wonder why everyone looks at me today like, dang, man, you used to be a raging idiot. What's going on with this? Who am I talking to right now? I can't talk to many people anymore I used to know, because I don't do any of that same stuff anymore. Everyone's gonna have to leave. Everyone, every single person, to my kids, to my parents, to everyone, because nobody recognizes who I am. They know who I was, and they're expecting that and they're wanting that. And the biggest thing is, I don't know what it is, but a lot of my family is like a lot of people on YouTube. They like to just push you to get you to react. And when you don't react, they're like, what's going on? Why aren't you flipping out about that? Why are you just like letting it in reality roll over and just don't care? Because I don't care. I'm not here living in this world of fight and flight no more. I don't want to be that at all, period. And I've been, practicing that, putting that into practice, and now it's no longer something that I have to work on. It's starting to become just me. At the end of the day, I don't care what no one's got to say. Mr. Hines, Robert Hines, has said some things that have opened my eyes up. And I have read some things that he's recommended to me that have opened my eyes up to. Because again, everyone's on this B.F. Skinner, he's dogs and this and that. What dogs did he train? He's worried about human behavior and what we do. It's opened my eyes up to me. And when my behavior changes, my dog's behavior changes. That's the change that most everyone is really looking for in your dog. You don't want to change the dog, you need to change you. Because when you change the dog, you're controlling the dog. When you change you, you're not controlling yourself, you're bringing yourself back to being who you are, what you represent, not what people try to tell you to be. He said some stuff to me that no one else in reality. He speaks on a real similar message of things that my main pastor man I listen to talks about. The whole concept of wanting for nothing and worrying about being present. And it aligns with a lot of the same stuff. And these are the two guys that I can give all the credits to in my life of this past like 3 to 4 years of being able to see something completely different. No one else has done that for me. No one. Dale hasn't done that for me. Mr. Cabral hasn't done that for me. None of these guys have done any of this for me. None of that. They haven't done nothing to help me get into a better place on this planet. And when I started getting better, I noticed that things around me got better. It started with me. And I don't care what no one has to say on that, because I'm living the life right now. I'm in it. I'm here. And I've been able to witness things that just don't make sense. And I'm only going to continue to keep further going into more and more and more. More and more. There'll be a day that I may learn something over here to keep expanding upon, but I'm never going to go back to what I used to do. I'm never going to go back to, I need to control everything. I need to start to manage everything. I need to put all this on this to get it to be right. I'm never gonna go back that route. Never, because I don't need to.